We have matters to discuss, von Valancius.
What? Will my servant live?
Probably. Unless he suffered from hidden ailments, he will soon come to without any major damage to his health. Either way, oblivion is a far safer option for him than the dangerous privilege of being a witness to this conversation.
Okay, so it sounded like he took out a chainsword. I think I gave Henrix a Drukhari sword. So if you hit somebody, even if it sounds like a chainsword, I don't think it'd just be like a, oops, he'll be okay. If the Inquisition talked with me, I'll be glad to be in service.
A commendable openness to cooperation. It will be taken into account.
Okay.
Master Van Kellox has spent enough time with you. He will vouch for your words. What stands out from your recent accomplishments is the suppression of a rebellion on Janus, the battle against the arch-enemy's minions on Kiava Gamma, and, of course, the unusual interest the Drukhari have shown in you. Then that is what we will discuss.
Feels like an awful lot of interrogation.
Does it? We're in your chambers, not a confessional cell. You're in perfectly good health, and none of the varied and fascinating instruments and procedures that expedite candor are being applied to you. I assure you, you would immediately know if our discussion turned into an interrogation.
Okay, well, what do you know about the events on Janus?
What was the reasoning behind your decision to let xenos, enemies of humanity, live and act on a planet that belongs to you?
In the face of heresy, the xenos seemed like an acceptable allies to me. In the face of heresy, the xenos seemed like an acceptable allies to me. I have the right to strike deals with xenos. Are you challenging my privileges?
Strike deals? Absolutely. Cooperate? To a degree. But not hand them inhabited worlds on a platter. I suggest you read your warrant more closely. Remember, the hallmark of a wise rogue trader is to realize that the phrase, "I can do anything," means, "I can do almost anything."
Okay.
These xenos, known as the Aldari, have garnered such influence over your naive subjects that I cannot help but wonder who truly rules Janus now. I must inform you that, should any evidence surface that the xenos power continues to expand in your domain, it will mean a death sentence for your colony.
How did you come so remarkably well informed?
Are you surprised? You thought the Inquisition was unaware of the circumstances of your deeds. How often do you find yourself thinking that there are things we shouldn't know about your life? It is my job to know everything, and I do it very well. Keep that in mind.
Well, if you knew what was happening, why didn't you intervene?
I cannot satisfy your curiosity without disclosing information of the utmost secrecy. I will say only this. we had the situation under control. There is a tangled knot of perilous events in progress in the Coronis expanse. Plucking even one thread must be performed with great precision and caution, without any room for error. Because you do not want to know the price of such an error, or what forms it might take.
All right. What question do you have me about Cave of Gamma?
Places touched by chaos must be purged with fire and condemned to oblivion. Kiava Gamma should have been bombed to dust and pronounced a forbidden world. However,
can't please this guy at all.
You decided otherwise and restored the colony's operation. And you didn't even go to the trouble of hiding the traces of the neglect committed by your dynasty. After all, it was House von Valancius that gave Cubus Delphim so much freedom that he sank into seditious heresy. What was your rationale?
It's a complex mechanism. I wasn't willing to put its performance at risk because of some paranoid fears. Let the priesthood?
Clever. Alas, everyone guilty of negligence within the ranks of the priesthood of Mars has already been identified and punished. Right now, I am assessing the actions of your dynasty.
I was expecting that.
I hope you realize that we're talking about more than the fate of some colony. I care not for a single planet, however profitable and populous. But should corruption raise its head again on Kiava Gamma and try to spread, I will burn it away. And you will be guilty of criminal negligence.
Yikes. Drukhari have shown an interest in me. Are you referring to my ruined capital?
Yes, yes. The enmity between you is a known fact. But there is another way to look at it. On Veabos 6, you met the Archon of a mighty cabal, whose presence there seems strange to begin with, and lived. You subsequently encountered a number of her closest henchmen. Yet, again, you survived. Your capital fell victim to a nefarious attack, but even this time, their daggers missed your heart. Such remarkable luck. To be a personal enemy of such an influential xenos, to have been attacked so many times and yet make it out alive. So remarkable that one has to wonder, am I watching a spectacle? Could all these thrilling massacres be an alibi of sorts, meant to establish you once and for all as an enemy of the xenos and never their ally or even their agent?
All right. Well, the Xenos made more attempts on St. Drusus' life than mine. Does that make him a traitor too?
So you already think you're cut from the same cloth as St. Drusus, do you? Ambitious? I'll make note of it.
Have I answered all your questions?
Far from it, my dear. The questions are manifold. How did you manage to survive the battle that claimed the life of Theodora, who was so much more experienced and skilled than you? Is it a coincidence that you and you alone then made it out of the trap on Rykad Minoris? How much truth is there in the rumors being spread by the heretic Kunrad Voitvia about you? Was it virtuous of you to allow the warp-stricken Voidsmen to join your crew? The ones who served on the ship that was turned into a trap for you by Kunrad Voitvia? Isn't it possible that they were part of the blight he had sown? The very existence of these questions would have made many of my colleagues doubt the quality of your character. but it won't in this case. Your transgressions are sufficient grounds to bring you before the Inquisition's judgment. And believe me when I say that if you fail to draw certain conclusions from my words, this is what will eventually happen. But for now, I am willing to show leniency, which is rather uncharacteristic of me. I hope you appreciate the generosity of this offer, as your predecessor once did.
Theodora cooperated with you?
And benefited greatly from it. The world's power is not without limit, and neither is the protection it provides. All those mysterious expeditions, dubious experiments, collections of xenotech oddities are dangerous pastimes. It takes more than the Emperor's permission to pursue them without consequences. One must also make sure I am not displeased by it. Let me demonstrate how it works. In your retinue, there is a psyker who is yet to receive Terra's sanction, which, as we both know, is a grave threat and a blasphemy to the laws of the Imperium. I am aware of this secret, but I'm not displeased in the slightest. And so she lives on, your handy psyker, Idira Tlass.
Theodora was concerned about the fate of the dynasty and certain restricting obligation. Was it perhaps due to your partnership with her? Oh, I gotta read this one, actually. I cannot deny the possibility that Lady Theodora may have lamented losing some of the freedom she enjoyed prior to my arrival in the Expanse. Nor will I deny the partnership began more exerting a certain amount of influence. However, you are not Lady Theodora. It's put difficulties that encumbered our relationship to rest along with her. I do not recommend troubling yourself with the affairs of the past, for they have no bearing on your present position. Theodora chose to forget about this particular matter. Follow her example, fate will be the better for it. Why such an interest in my person?
You haven't been in a position of power for long, and so one can forgive you for not noticing the troubling changes. The cult of the Final Dawn is spreading in the Coronis Expanse. Not the first or the last heresy that has afflicted this sector, but one that is surprisingly resilient. Mysterious convoys are sliding by, bound for systems in the heathen stars. Just your humdrum pirate trade, wouldn't you say? Then why are the pirates themselves clueless? The xenos, who have caused trouble in the sector before, have expanded their activities in the last few decades, and there is a logic and method to their previously chaotic raids. Even 2 packs of space wolves, blessed space marines summoned in my name, did not cool their interest in the Expanse. A mighty explorative fleet, which has studied the Expanse for hundreds of years, has suddenly stopped responding to communication and sunk into a dispute over a tech heresy that was considered dead a couple of centuries ago. House Chorda has clamped down on insurgents, yet its acts of brutality breed troublemakers just as quickly as they're executed, and this bloody carousel has consumed the attention of the esteemed incendiar. Korligos Winterscale has abruptly lost all interest in his domain, and his only apparent concern now is hunting even more dangerous xenobeasts. And the third and final rogue trader has unexpectedly perished, stabbed in the back by her own Master of Whispers. The Expanse is swiftly losing its protectors right when communication with the Imperium is being disrupted by the raging warp. Basically, all the Expanse has left is me and you, if you follow my instructions.
What kind of deal are we talking about?
I make no deals, and Emperor forbid that I give you orders. That would mean infringing on your privileges. I'm merely offering well-meaning recommendations and expecting that, when the Expanse finds itself in danger, you will break away from your own affairs to heed them. As proof of the seriousness of my hopes for you, I can assign Heinrichs as your escort. He is my best agent, and I would not offer his company to anyone but my most trusted ally.
What is your opinion? Is he a useful assistant?
Without a doubt. Master Van Kellogg's has earned my complete trust by repeatedly demonstrating courage, loyalty, and cunning. His mathematical mind, not given to sentiment, can be of great use in an emergency. You, my dear Heinrichs, have made a far better agent than you would have a pilot of an Imperial Knight.
Alright, yeah, I'll put him on.
Then Master Van Kellogg's will remain in place. It puts me at ease to know that there is someone to watch over you.
Spire.
I consider it an honor to accompany you.
My favor takes other forms as well. Please accept this gift as a sign of my favor. In an hour of need, give it to any faithful servant of the Emperor, and the Inquisition will come to your aid. The color indicates how close the bearer is to the Lord Inquisitor. White is beautiful, yet vulnerable. It stains as easily as one can lose the Inquisition's trust. Do all you can to preserve it.
Just some ring. Promise you'll guarantee that the Inquisition, any assistance it may require, the Emperor protects. We'll smile. I don't see a reason to refuse.
Then we have reached a consensus, and I am pleased to see it. Here is where we part. My shuttle is waiting. It is time for me to return to my watch, for you to sleep, and for your servant to wake up until next we meet.
Well, you will obviously want to discuss what just happened, but not now, I presume. Right now, it would be better for you to rest and think on the Lord Inquisitor's words in private. I bid you good night, rogue trader.
The rise of the rogue trader heir restored a tenuous equilibrium to the Fon Valancius Protectorate. For a time, threats subsided, activity returned to trade routes, and reclaimed worlds began to heal. The new Lord Captain's subjects praised the God Emperor and their leader wholeheartedly. For none knew what fate might await them.
Does Xenos just warp in? Listen to the High Effectum's lengthy reports. Thank you for your report. Work is highly appreciated, both by everyone here and the Adeptus Administratum, your lordship. We're almost done here. We just need to go over the final items on today's agenda that I would like to report personally. All right. Truly the God Ripper has blessed me with diligent subjects. Speak. Allow me to pass on the gifts from the loyal subjects, the high nobility of Dargonis. It goes without saying that every living soul in your protectorate is blessed to serve your lordship faithfully and wholeheartedly. However, his humble gesture is meant as a token of the deepest appreciation for your magnanimity or as the esteemed families. Oh. House Viserion made arrangements of delivery of several tons of supplies on your future journeys. The House is also transferring a regiment of its finest into your personal charge. Each of these brave troopers has undergone rigorous voidfare training and will be humbled to lay down their lives for the Lord Captain. Just command them as you see fit. Lord Captain, news of particular import has come from the House Intelligence Network. Lord Inquisitor Calcazar is rumored to be planning a visit to Footfall. A number of Imperial Navy ships were commandeered by Lord Calcazar. They're also being scrambled to Footfall. Furthermore, we have received reports of claiming that secret messages were delivered to the capital worlds of House Torda and Winterscale. It is possible that the Lord Inquisitor's call to arms may smother the conflict that is brewing between the two dynasties. We are seeing an increased number of skirmishes between their ships and the neutral systems. Do not doubt her ladyship Cordo has attempted to sway the Lord Inquisitor to her side, especially since his lordship Winterscale's luck seems to be running out. Riots have broken out of several of his worlds, and yet he has shown no intention of quelling them. Instead, the rogue traders inflicted brutal punishment upon those colonies, Vesuvius Secundus, based on allegations and seditious sentiment. Oddly enough, our agents were unable to find proof of sedition among the populace there. And as soon as we have any updates, you'll be first to know. Lastly, Pet Xenos, Urlit, I believe, is seeking a meeting with you. She has the audacity to defile the rogue trader's palace with her profane presence, refuses to leave until she has spoken with you. I would never presume to be able to read the emotions of a Xenos, but the other appeared to be perturbed, and I believe she mentioned the void ship in some sort. Maybe best if she told you everything directly. And with that, please allow me and Master Danrock to take leave. Perhaps the last request will serve as a welcome distraction indeed. Your lordship will stay in Dargonis. Has been rather long. However, your protectorate is now enjoying a period of a relative stability that, for time being, is no longer demands your lordship's personal involvement in its affairs. Glory to the rogue trader. Elentok, at last you have left your ornate cage. Many turns I have sought to meet you, and yet your servant, the one who's like silver-haired Abelard, twice as young, has no favor for the request of the child of Siren. Take me to a place where the hearing of others will not steal words intended for you. While you're mending the wounds of the world left by the Twisted One's attack, I was able to discover, no, not Krudark's fate, merely traces of it, as Murin found sanctuary under the boughs of the Lilithan's forest. So did my other kin find refuge under the system known as Atlas Reach. Must make a journey there with haste, before new dangers destroy the witnesses who can show me the way to Last Krudark, whose fate remains shrouded by the stars. The knowledge of this soul thread that may lead you to the truth, Elentok. I ask that your mental winged ship take me along the thread before it tears under the strain of time and circumstance. Were you able to contact them? No, I did not contact them. I have no means to do so, but I had enough time to explore the stone jungle of your world while you were preoccupied with your urgent matters. The path of the outcast has taught me to observe and listen to the world around me. In this case, the throngs of the monkey and the port Errant conversations, rumors, chance of words, like parts of a speckled mosaic, they come together and form a hazy image. My kin were last seen at Atlas Reach, and now all we have is to do is to pull the web of connections and possibilities to uncover whatever is concealed from the scene. Alright, give me the coordinates. You will? Well, thank you. The path indeed takes me to the truth. I'll be indebted to you, a rare happening between our kinds. Alright. Alright, so, chapter 3. Oh, we still got the football thing, so we can still do that. Okay, good. Okay, that's for yearly. Wait for some spies. Else here? Talk to these guys actually? Fine, I'll talk to you.
What do we have here?
Surprised I actually saw that. My perception's very high. Okay. If anybody wants to talk to me. Oh, nothing. Okay, nothing new. Alright, so nobody wants to talk to me. So, I'm gonna guess that just leave. What else is needed here? Leave and go to the Atlas system. Heinrichs? No, I don't trust Heinrichs. I think he's spying on me. Part of his conversation when he's talking to remind me of the voice actor from that Operencia. I don't think it's the same guy, but it sounds like him somewhat when he talks. All right, so Atlas system, huh? Know where that's at even? I mean, we should know where it's at. They sent me coordinates. But we do not know. I don't think I have it open, do I?